So today I'll talk about why I cut off my family. I'll talk about why I cut off each family member one by one. I was 19 and I was juggling a full-time job and being a part-time student in college. At home, I was constantly the financial safety net for everybody, so they always had their hand out. I was so busy I didn't have time for my passion, which is drawing. I was bummed out constantly. One day I'm like, you know what, I'll just go to my guardian. She always knows what to say and what to do. And I tell my guardian how I'm feeling, sad, unmotivated, and overwhelmed, and I'm like, you know what, I don't really have enough space for me. I think it's best if I move out and have my own space to express myself. For context, we all had to share one room. It was me, my relative, and my toxic friend. We shared a bunk bed. And when I expressed this to my mother, she laughed in my face and said, I'll never make it. There's no way, I have too much on my plate. She told me to just focus on college. This destroyed the 7 years of confidence I built up in therapy. It started my 6-month-long depression. Often my mom would only talk to me if she needed $300 for this or that. I need $300 for my max out credit card. I need $300 for the wheels of my vehicle. I need $300 for my stomach surgery. No way, I meant $500, my bad. It was really exhausting. Eventually I told her no, and I was really scared too. When I told her no, she looked at me and she was like, no, I'm your mother. I can't believe you say no to me. And I was like, well, I'm not a bank. Ladies and gentlemen, the people pleaser has put down a boundary. God forbid she does it again. The straw that broke the camel's back, I was in a college class at 9 in the morning, and my partner called me and he was like, hey, I just talked to your mom and I'm worried about you. And I was like, oh, what's wrong? And he explained, hey, your mom wants to move out with her boyfriend and she wants to pin the entirety of the rent on you. And I was like, whoa, that's too damn much. So after I received that information, I started to say no more often, and bam, everybody either walked away from me immediately or went quiet on me. And I was like, damn. Then I made the right decision. The last week before I moved out, my mother was getting ready for work and I was getting ready for bed. I was in the bathtub and she bust the door open and she was like, I need a list of all the reasons why you hate me, and I need a list of why you keep disrespecting me in my own home. I need it by the time you get out the bathtub. I just told her no and went to bed. So I was at work one day and I missed a call from my dad. I called him back and he was like, so I heard you're gonna move out. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing it for my inner peace. And he said, oh, okay, well, send me your new address or I'll choke you. And I went in the bathroom, cried, clocked in for my shift, and went to work. And that was a week before I moved out. For the next member, my grandma, I cut off my grandma because she's pretty much just poison. 3 months after I moved out, she sent me a text message that said verbatim, so I heard you moved out. Well, if money gets tight, I hope you don't become a prostitute and sell your body for money. Hope it goes well. And I was like, what the fuck? What did I do? I barely talked to you. And for the next member, my older relative, I cut her off because she's not mentally all there. She's in her early 20s, no job, no income. She makes up excuses why she can't get a job. 2 reasons. So we got to go to graduation one day and she was talking to me about how people in a furry VR chat want to kill her, and I told her, I was like, that sounds, not normal. And she was like, yeah, people in VR want to kill furries. And I said it back to her and I was like, that sounds pretty outlandish. The second reason is she's not very good with her son. One day she kissed her 3-year-old son on the lips, and my other relative said, hey, when he gets older, you're gonna stop doing that, right? And my older relative just stayed silent. She's just really nasty. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I cut off my other sibling because her temper was always awful. I was so stressed in that house. I left for 3 days, came back, and the toxic friend goes, oh, your sister's talking shit about you. And I was like, what do you mean? I went to my sister and I was like, what happened? I was gone. And she was talking foully about me and it was really, really disgusting. And I was like, well, just don't talk to me in that light. It's pretty gross. And she's like, oh no, our other sister started that. Oh no, well, I was drunk. Oh no, well, I was joking. Back and forth and back and forth. And I was like, okay, well, that's nasty behavior. The straw that broke the camel's back was when a week before I moved out, she was like, you'll make it. You have enough money. You're financially smart. You'll be okay. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad she's supportive. She turned around, went in the bathroom, and called somebody and went, she'll never make it. She didn't have enough money. She'll get scammed. She didn't have a driver's license. At least I have my driver's permit. She'll be back in 2 weeks. Well, in a few months, I'll be 21, so. And I left at 19, so I don't think I'm going back. Shit. On the day of the move, my sister was following me everywhere as I threw boxes in the truck, and she was like, let me help you get to your new place, I understood that she just wanted to know where I lived, and I was dedicated to not letting people ruin my inner peace. And I know if someone was in my new home, they would ruin that new adventure for me. We were packing up the last of the boxes, and she stood outside by the truck with the family dog, and I was like, okay, she's really upset. So I gave her a hug and she started crying, and she was like, well, this is the first time we're not gonna live together and we're twins. And I was like, I know, get your 8 hours of sleep, eat 3 meals a day, keep going to therapy, and you'll be okay. But listen, if I want to talk to you, I will. If I don't, I won't. I'm gonna cut off everyone for 4 months, figure myself out, and whatever happens after that, you gotta respect it. Well, 9 months later, I got a 2-page letter, and I was like, oh, that's weird. That's very weird. I'm pretty sure I said I wasn't down to talk. It was creepy because I never told her my address, my new address. So I read it and I was like, okay, this apology came years too late, but I appreciate it. It's just too late, The damage is done. To wrap it up in a pretty little bow, I bought gift bags for each family member, and then I was like, okay, I'll buy mental health books for each one, and I'll write each family member a goodbye letter and why I'm cutting them off. And each letter said, at the very end, do not contact, do not contact, do not contact. In December, and when I left all those gift bags and everything, I was really happy because I was like, you know what? This concludes a chapter of my life I cannot return to, gladly enough. I'm my own little woman, and I can make it happen by myself, and I'll be fine regardless, because my mother raised me to adapt and survive, and she gave me life, so gotta honor her at her word. I don't think there's a better gift than giving someone life, dear God, honestly. But it was very sad going back to that house because I got intense anxiety, but I had to give them their goodbye letters. And when I went, my sister was there, my twin, and I opened the door and she cried, and I was like, fuck, I haven't seen her in like 7 months. This is really awkward. And when I put the gift back on the kitchen counter, she was like, look, I redecorated everything. I did this, I did that. And I was like, oh, that's lovely. That's great. Good for you. And every 5 seconds, she asked to drive me back home. I just told her no constantly. She asked me about 7 times. It was very back to back. And I got home exhausted emotionally. I was like, I know it's been a few months, but even after all this time, she still doesn't respect my boundaries. I know I went back to give them like my last few words. I hope they're doing okay. I know it's not an ending nobody really wanted, but I'm happier. I'm happy because I have my space. I'm eating good. I got steak. I'm doing pretty good. And I'm proud of myself for getting the fuck out of there, honestly. Finally, the last family member I miss every day. The family dog, Cookie! Every time I was in my, during my, long depression, I'd wake up and she'd be sleeping on my booty or on my chest, or she'd wake up and she'd be like, human, arise, and it was so cute. When she was mad at me, she'd do upset taps, and that's when she would just throw her paw at the floor. I remember sometimes she would be like, get up, feed me, get up, bathe me, get up, walk me. She was so sweet, and I miss her every day. My mother was like, are you gonna take the dog when you move out? And I was like, no, you need her more than I do. And I hope she's being taken care of very, very well, because she's my baby. She's my fluffy baby, and I miss her. I miss her a lot. Like, she was the OG. Cookie is goated to the end of time. Little pupper. I hope she's okay now. I love her a lot. Shit, I miss my dog. Next video, I'll talk about the day I came out as bisexual. It was pretty fun. Anyway, thanks for listening. Remember, protect your inner peace and go get 8 hours of sleep. Go get a full fucking meal. And hit the gym, for God's sake. Hit the fucking gym. It'll make you feel better. Mind, body, and soul, brother. Mind, body, and soul. Alright, bye-bye.